this session is realigning you so that instead of identifying with the situation, we're going to realign you back into who you are. This energy of growth, unlimited possibilities, choices, and potential to move you out of that stage of feeling stuck. So if you're here, you're now one of my babies, and you get one kiss on the forehead. So come, my little jellyfish. And if you're a returning baby, what do you get? Multiple kisses. Mama loves you, jellyfishes. Okay, so we start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, let me see these cute little jellyfish faces. Tentacles. Come. Okay, take a deep breath in. Exhale. Just rest your chin. Rest your chin on my hand, okay? Dear universe and all, for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am Ashe. Okay, take another breath. Exhale and release. So, where I'm just going to start here is just to work. I'm going to start here just to work through the energy a bit, and I'm going to tell you what's coming across. What's coming across as I'm working through this energy is feelings of jealousy, okay? And the jealousy is not, it's multiple levels, so we'll go through each level of it. But the first level is feeling, well, what is wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Is that why things are not where I need them to be? And it could be something very simple, or it could be something very complex. And just so you know, nothing is wrong with you, okay? Setbacks are part of the normal human experience, but we don't always learn how to deal with these setbacks in a way that works for us emotionally or internally, or we have to unlearn some dynamics that maybe helped us get to a destination but no longer works with us, okay? So the first thing is this: there is nothing wrong with you. You are not unlucky. It's not a bad luck thing. It's simply a situation, and situations happen in the human experience. It's okay. But what is in your control is how you perceive yourself here. Just because you're in a situation does not mean that you are bad, that you are less than, that you are inadequate. It's just a situation. You could be the most prepared person in the room, and things still may have not worked out for you. And that doesn't mean that you did something wrong or that the path is incorrect. That's just not your moment there for that thing. A lot of times you might receive a no or a not yet because what you want or what you're building towards is much greater than what you could imagine. And in the moment you might feel like, well, I mean, this is enough for me. Maybe it shouldn't be enough for you. And sometimes there are bigger places we're going that we don't even realize yet. Like, we can't even see it yet because we haven't lived the experience. So as these multiple things are happening at the same time within your life and within your timeline, there has to be certain checkpoints that you have to way. Allow that to come up, to come out, and take the time to process, okay, what's going on? What can I control? What can I not control? How can I keep the movement? What do I really feel like is worth the time that I am dedicating to? Okay? You gotta start thinking like that. And it's not about, again, being perfect. It's about being consistent. That's all it is, okay? And your time will come. And I think you know that. I think you know your time will come, but just in the low moments, it is low. I mean, it's low. So that's where that layer is. And so that jealousy is not necessarily like a mean thing. You know, I always say that just because people do mean things doesn't necessarily mean that they are just this mean person. Everybody has a story. Now, just because we know that someone who does something mean may not be like an evil person doesn't mean that you tolerate it or put up with it. No. A part of helping people to get better is to actually have boundaries and to say, no, you can't treat me like this. And also to be mindful of how we treat other people as well. That's just how it is. But it's not to look at everyone who's ever made a mistake and say, oh, they're just an evil person. No, save the evil label for people who are actually evil. Most of the time people are just confused, or they're deeply hurt, or they're deeply traumatized, and they're refusing to make changes. And they may be impacting you as well. That don't have nothing to do with you, okay? You still make these movements in your life. So let me just work with that, okay? You still make these movements in your life. Don't worry about any of that stuff. If someone told you, oh, well, I don't see you being able to do that, it don't matter what they see. All that matters is what you see. But sometimes we will go inside and think, well, if perhaps you don't present in the way that you think is the way that it's supposed to look, that you feel like you're not going to have a chance. So you might even stop yourself before you get there. And it's not that at all. Everybody is looking for something different. Everybody is looking to be heard and talked to. So if there's too many people who are doing things the same way, eventually someone is going to come and disrupt the space. That's just how it is. I think we're in a time in social media, we're in a time in popular culture where everybody looks the same. There is like a prototype of what people look like aesthetically. And I think that what we're going to see over the next 10 years is people are going to shift. And when I say everyone looks the same, I also mean that everybody has the same hobbies. Everybody, they're doing these things because they're looking for safety and security and community, and they're wanting to align themselves in this new social media global world. But the disruptors are the people who have confidence in doing it their way. Everyone wants community. Everyone wants confidence. So there are going to be things that you feel inside that bring you confidence that people have not caught on to. Continue to ride that out, okay? They may not pop up and say, okay, right now, yeah, but go with it, because that is how you create quality. If you're feeling left behind, if you're feeling stuck, have you ever considered that you just might be ahead and people have not caught up yet? Just a little bit of consideration. You do not have to do or look or behave like everyone else to be successful. You can define that. You can decide how you navigate the space. You can do what you need. And again, it's not about acceptance from other people, because you cannot control how people accept you, especially if you got a lot of otherness to you. It just is what it is. I'm not saying it's right. It just is what it is. But I will say this. How other people look at you should not determine how you look at you, how you accept you, how you walk in this space with confidence, how you walk through the world with that energy. That's just more of making and bringing peace for yourself, okay? aesthetic. They're trying to figure out what everybody likes, and instead of really taking the time to figure out, okay, what is this new thing, they're trying to influence people to like the same thing so they can mass market do it. So no, you're not behind. You're not being left behind. Your desires are not strange and weird. You are actually doing what you're supposed to do, which is come into yourself, grow, be an individual, enjoy, learn, enhance yourself. That's what you're supposed to do. So you might be tempted to say, well, how can I just try to fit in, or how can I just try to make some progress because I feel behind? And I'm not just talking about like when we look at things on social media, I'm talking about in everyday life too. The feeling of, do you feel like you're not smart enough? Do you feel like you're not vocal enough? Do you feel like you're not entrepreneurial enough or entrepreneurial enough? All of those things that come out in everyday life. And I'm telling you, there are so many ways to approach something. That big personality, everyone does not need to have that, okay? And you don't honestly need it. Sometimes you got to move in silence. Why? Because you can get things done and you don't have to worry about anybody judging you. Now, you may not get the same positive reinforcement of someone saying like, yeah, good job along the way. But once you get there, the people will show up. They always do. Everyone loves people who are successful. They don't even care what they're successful at. But those same people will probably not show up during the process because they don't get it. It's okay. That's just how it is. But you've got to get it for yourself. So the energy that I'm feeling right now is a lot of creativity, things that are uniquely you, things that are uniquely you. But you need to build it out, okay? You have to build it out your way. And this can go towards conventional things too, like anybody who is trying to level up their career, or they're in school, or they're just trying to maybe deepen their awareness or understanding of things. You have to focus on doing it the way you want to do it. Not the way that looks aesthetically pleasing, but what works for you. Do you work better in the home? Do you work better outside of the home? Do you work better in groups? Do you work better by yourself? Do you like to do this? Do you like to do that? What makes it easy for you? There's so many times that I see people make different kinds of content, like study content or something like that, and they don't actually be studying. They just be looking good studying. And I'm like, you know, it's nice and aspirational to feel good to watch, but the everyday doing of whatever it is you want to do, okay, even just practicing in art or practicing learning and knowledge, it just takes time. You're gonna do it messy, but it's supposed to feel good. And sometimes feelings don't always translate to this aesthetic look, and that's okay. I'm saying all this to say that even when you feel setback, financially you're not where you want to be, or you had hoped to make some other decisions, it's okay. You still have all of these moves at play that you can make. So don't forget that. Do it your way. Oh, I wanted it to look. Who cares what it looks like? Get it done. That's all. Just get it done. And do not be mean to yourself. Okay, you gotta be sweet to yourself, babies. But don't be mean to yourself when you're feeling down. That is the worst time ever to be mean to yourself. You're feeling down because things aren't going the way you had hoped. So be nice to yourself. It's okay. Will or I'll figure it out. I'm gonna find a way. I'm not feeling good today. I'm gonna rest today. That's how you have to be talking to yourself internally. That's how you have to be looking at the situation. Even if you feel like you're letting people down or you're letting yourself down, you know, especially if you have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, that lets you know when you need to prioritize. You cannot be everything to everyone. A lot of times, if you have good boundaries, and when I say boundaries, I don't yourself, I am worth it. I'm worth the time it takes. And you cannot expect, if you're younger, 15, 16, 19, you have learned how to do things up to a certain point. And so it's still going to be difficult to relearn, but you'll be able to bounce back because you're still relatively young. Once you start to hit your 20s, there's a lot of exploration that you're going to be doing. So you're going to be making the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. But making mistakes are good things, or experiencing setbacks can be good because they give us reference points and wisdom. In our brain, we have how we would hope things to be, and then we experience life, and then we have the reality of things, okay? So when those two come together, what we hope, the fantasy and the reality, we can make good choices. Then once you start to hit your 30s, you're able to make more deliberate and intentional moves. But as I'm speaking throughout time, we're going to go to 40s, 50s, 60s, and more. You have to unlearn all that stuff. So if you're 30, if you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 60, if you're 70, and you're working on yourself, can you imagine you were 50 and you have to unlearn everything you learned for 54 years? It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. Be patient. Our body likes certainty, even if it's not best for us what we're certain about. So to recode our body, or to renormalize other things in our body, we have to take our time. And so you're going to be uncomfortable, but it's going to be worth it. And you're going to be inspiring. You're inspiring yourself. It's going to feel good. You don't need a cosign from anyone around you. You are the cosign. And people are attracted to confidence more than anything, okay? You could have people interested in something you're doing that nobody knows about just because of how you do it. Just because of your flex and finesse and how you go about doing it, okay? When I started as a Reiki practitioner, not everybody knew what that was. Even when I was in college, okay, 15 years ago, majoring in religious studies, nobody was interested in it, but I was interested